Yeah, man. So this brings us to the next topic. For somebody that's trying to level up and they're trying to see which path to go through, the 9 to 5 versus the entrepreneur.
So it just depends on where you are, right? I think taking the 9 to 5 approach before you become an entrepreneur is a great lane. So you could use that money to think about the ideas or what business you want to start. On top of that, you don't really have to take out a loan if you were to, work for a living and then start saving that money. You could cash flow that. I feel like in the meantime of having that 9 to 5, you can develop a passion or you can develop some skills. I don't. I'm not against the 9 to 5. At the moment, or entrepreneurship. At the moment, I have a 9 to 5, but I'm taking the skills that I have, and then I'm gonna use those to then propel my career as an entrepreneur in about 2 to 5 years, hopefully. So I'm not against entrepreneurship, but I would take the 9 to 5 lane first, and then become an entrepreneur.
Yeah, I mean, I'll break it down this way, right?
Yeah.
The 9 to 5 is easier. Um, the entrepreneur lane is harder. In a lot of cases, the 9 to 5 isn't as fulfilling.
Hmm.
And in a lot of cases, being an entrepreneur is more fulfilling. So there's pros and cons on both sides. But I subscribe to the idea of doing both. I have a 9 to 5.
Hmm.
Also, though, right, I'm an entrepreneur. I resell sneakers and streetwear. Right, I do that on the side as a hobby, but it makes me money, so that counts. And then I have this podcast. So, amongst other things that I'm looking to do in real estate and things like that. But I think that we should have the idea of doing both, being an entrepreneur and working a 9 to 5. And the hope is one day, while working your 9 to 5 and funding your entrepreneurial venture, that the income from the what you're doing as a business will overtake your income as your 9 to 5, and then you can do that full time. I mean, that's goals.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. And like I said, there's nothing wrong with being an entrepreneur, but don't just come out of nowhere in college and say, "Hey, I want to start developing t-shirts or creating t-shirts or developing an app or do some freelance work." Like, actually develop some skills, something that's
Yeah,
gonna make you money, regardless if you go under in business or you have an economic downturn. You know, definitely invest in some skills. That's the only thing I can stress. Yeah.
that's true. That's true. I definitely agree with that. Definitely try to become good at what you're doing before you go step out on a leap of faith
Right.
and quit your job and all that stuff. But it is cool to put in the time to get better. I mean, don't be afraid to start as well. But yeah, you gotta secure yourself in your future because at the end of the day, you gotta eat, right?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, if you were an accountant and you got your CPA license and you worked as an accountant for 10 years for somebody else and you feel like you could take the leap of faith to go out there and work for yourself, I don't see a problem with that because you've already been in the game 10 years and you've developed that skill set and the experience. So you know pretty much everything about that. So that's kind of where I'm coming from.
So, what do you think about how social media
Mm.
has basically turned on the 9 to 5 guy? You see things like people want to go to college. You need to get your LLC. You need to start a business. Where there's people that are very dogmatic about it. Who, from what I observed, they don't even own businesses themselves, but
Right.
they're very dogmatic about the idea that everybody should be entrepreneurs. What's your take on
Social media is a scam in that regard. But seriously,
that?
man, like I've seen where some guys will put on their bio, and no knock to anybody, but they'll put entrepreneur, and then all of a sudden you'll see somebody at Saltgrass being a waiter, and there's nothing wrong with that. Maybe they're being an entrepreneur on the side and having their 9 to 5 cash flow their entrepreneurship. There's nothing wrong with that. At the end of the day, I feel like it creates a false sense of reality when you see people like Kylie Jenner, making billions of dollars on her what is it
Makeup
her
line.
makeup line, and you think that you can go do it. No, that's not your lifestyle. Now, I'm not saying you can't get a portion of that, but you have to be real. You have to have some type of sense of reality, man.
No, I agree. I like the idea that everybody wants to be an entrepreneur. Though.
Yeah.
I think ownership is a need, especially in underserved populations. I think people from their neighborhood should own more things in their neighborhood. So I appreciate it. I just need more detail. Don't just tell me to get an LLC. I mean, I have an LLC. Now what? You know?
Right.
I mean, I do. So, people are like, all right, man, all you need is good credit and an LLC. Okay, I have both of those. Now what? You know, like, we need a little more detail and to be less dogmatic. Because some of the people you're talking about, I mean, there's people that work 9 to 5s that are millionaires.
Yeah. There's nothing wrong with that. Like you said, you could be a 401k millionaire.
Yes.
And make a great salary your whole life. And take care of your kids, and you're a millionaire. No problem.
Tim Cook is an entrepreneur.
He's not.
He's a billionaire.
He's an executive. And people need executives to run their business. If everybody was an entrepreneur, there would be no businesses.
Exactly. Well, there'll be businesses, but
I mean, you would have clothing lines, maybe. You couldn't have
I
a
get what you're
restaurant.
saying.
Yeah.
I get what you're saying. Yeah, you're right.
It takes employees to run a business.
Exactly. And everybody plays their part. But yeah, I mean, I'm with it. Let's just be more detailed. That's all. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
If you're gonna shame somebody for not having an LLC and say, oh, you should have took your $1,200 stimulus and got an LLC. There's no point in having an LLC if you don't have a business plan. How about this? How about all you online entrepreneurs? Let's do this. Start an online class that you can sell. You can make money from doing this on how to create a business plan. I'm going to task one of you entrepreneurs with doing that. Do it. Email me. I'll post it on the channel. I'll post it on my personal page. That's what I task you guys to do.
Okay, I like that. On top of that, you are not an entrepreneur unless you pay 100% of your bills with that entrepreneurship. That's my definition.
Wait, what do you mean?
If you have a business on the side, you are not a full entrepreneur unless you can pay and provide for every single family member and pay for your bills.
I disagree with that.
That means mortgage. That means
I disagree with that.
How can you come out and say I'm an entrepreneur if you technically have a 9 to 5? I'm not talking about you, just anybody.
But you could be both.
Okay, you could be both. But in my definition, I would lean towards having the 9
You're not
to
a
5
full-time entrepreneur.
You're not a full-time entrepreneur. Okay. So when can you become an entrepreneur? Just have an LLC?
No. If you don't make any money, you're not an entrepreneur.
Okay.
My definition is just a business turn a profit. So, right, I wouldn't really consider myself an entrepreneur because, like, the only business I have on the side that's making me money currently is I resell sneakers and streetwear. But it's not much money I make from it. But the point is that that's something I do on the side. And I'm not going to try to jump down anybody's throat and say, you need to have an LLC without the details. Right. So I think we agree on that because I just think it's weird. Like, it's on everybody to go to the Secretary of the State website and sign up for these LLCs to do what? To get an SBA loan?
Be a scammer or what?
Nah, man. No, we got to do better than that. So, again, like I said, I task y'all with that. How to create a business plan. Set up something like that. Set up a class or something doing that.
And I need some income statements and balance sheets before you try to tell me about your entrepreneurship LLC. I need to see some proof. Okay.
Let them make it, man. Let them make it, man. I'm not mad at y'all, man. Y'all want to own stuff, I'm with it. And shout out to all my people who start businesses on the side. I got a partner. Shout out my homie CJ. I just got some sweatshirts off him. I'm going to be rocking on the next episode. And he's a 9 to 5 guy. And now he's putting his passion into making clothes.
Dope.
So, yeah, man. Shout out to all my entrepreneurs, Shout out my homie Tony Ohamba. I'm rocking his denim jacket right here from RVS Apparel.
That's real fresh, man.
Yeah, man. So, I mean, I support it, man. If you're an entrepreneur, you got some decent product, hit me up. I'll probably buy it.
Yeah, same here, man. I'm probably going to have to buy one. You got some U of H gear? Your boy got some U of H gear?
Yeah,
I'm definitely checking that out, man. That's real fun, man. Yeah, real fresh.
All right, man. Moral of the story is this. Young Equity Chris's take. Do both. Be a 9 to 5er and an entrepreneur.
Yeah. Young Equity Devin, man. Develop some skills. Do both. But use your skill to become an entrepreneur. Period.